Thank you for that introduction. And I just want to welcome you all here tonight. I was asked to speak about women in education in light of the International Day of the Girl. So on October 11th, as many of you know, it's been declared by the UN that October 11th is the International Day of the Girl. And to be honest, I think a day is not enough to celebrate the cause of women seeking liberation through educating themselves, both formally and informally, both for the pursuit of independence and for the pursuit of wisdom and social reform. To me, education doesn't end at receiving a degree or good grades. It doesn't end when the workday is done, and it isn't a tool to generate good employees. It's a weapon of mass construction. The construction of freedom, love, and the power to evoke change within ourselves, in our communities, and the world at large. But there's been an erosion at the foundation of this vast construction site, and that erosion is the deprivation around the world of freedom for young girls and women to have equal access to education, as well as the discrimination and abuse faced worldwide, including here, for women to have equal opportunities to learn and to feel safe at work or school. Women continue to be sexually, psychologically, and physically harassed, underestimated, undermined, and silenced in spaces that were meant for the flourishing of all people. Education is not a luxury, it is a right. It's no secret that we live in a patriarchal world where the talents, skills, and voices of women still reside in the margins. It's no secret, but it's embarrassing, hurtful, and enraging to say the least. I'm tired of entering spaces of knowledge where these issues are invisible, taboo, deemed irrelevant, or treated as if it's only happening in developing nations, and not here. Hiring practices that continue to favor men over women, the trivialization of sexual abuse on campus, and the general apathy with which empowerment for women is discussed or not discussed are all very real issues in Canada as well. This makes understanding, addressing, and mobilizing to change this reality a critical responsibility both locally and globally. The reality of the nature of oppression is that it operates to convince the oppressed that subordination is natural and inevitable. Historically, women and girls have believed these narratives and continue to believe them. These destructive ideas have been indoctrinated through various mediums, including the media. We are told that our bodies are commodities for advertisers, that we are never enough. We are alienated from positions of power. And in this way, oppressive structures attempt to disempower women. And the best way to do that is to distance them from educational resources. Because education is not only a means of empowerment, it is empowerment. And this is epitomized by the common use of the phrase, knowledge is power. And knowledge is power. It's the power to challenge oppressive structures and heal from the consequences of oppression. It's the power to live a life of one's own choosing. This is why it's so critical for women to pursue knowledge for themselves, knowledge of themselves, of their rights, their history, and every other bit of truth about the world we live in. By doing this, we are creating more opportunity for growth, equitable societies, and better people. Gandhi stated that one of the 7 deadly sins is education without character, which is true. But I also want to remind you that education also helps us build character and build the strength that we can then use to build a better world. Helmut Braun, the incredible researcher, philanthropist, and visionary whom this scholarship is in memory of, understood the value of education to create positive change. He clearly not only understood, but lived these values. And though I never met him, his legacy reminds me that there is immense power in gaining, disseminating, and acting on knowledge. That is a transformative practice, and everyone has the right to it, regardless of their gender, sexual orientation, race, creed, or ethnicity. So today is not just a fundraiser. It's the celebration of the continuation of that legacy. I hope what I've said has inspired you all to fight harder in your careers and your personal lives not only for women's rights, but for rights of all people, to have access to education and safe spaces that allow for the nurturing of their highest potential and the fruition of positive change. Thank you so much.